Get ready, folks, because I'm a straight shooter. In the online digital world, and if you're a coach, etc., you are being taught scale wrong. I like the word scale. I don't like the way scale is defined in these online social streets. When we say scale, what does scale really mean? The real scale is not how much you sell or how big your business is. It's actually your and then you'll look back and go, God, I worked that hard for what? I didn't get much back. And so that's my problem with scale. And you have to think of it differently in order for you to actually achieve scale.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Auret here from Essetino Media, and this is Jewel.
Hey, everybody.
We're so excited to do this special episode with you. It's been like a really last-minute thing to have someone really special come and speak with us today. Today's live is really going to challenge the way that you think you should be scaling your business. So yeah, we're just going to get right into it because 30 minutes isn't enough with this woman. Like she just spews gold all the time. So special guest is Jen Kem and our friend as well. If you don't know Jen, she is a top brand strategist by Forbes, also an author as well, which we'll go into that a little bit. But she really specializes in launching innovative ideas with high performing teams. And her unicorn innovation model, which is what she talks about in the book, has been used by brands you've heard and know about, like, Oprah Winfrey Network, Oracle, and so many other best-selling authors and influencers that you definitely listen to their podcasts, you definitely watch their videos. And I'm so proud of this woman. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her on the screen here. Jen, welcome.
Hello. Hey, Auret and Jewel. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome.
Well, Jen, thank you for being here. A lot of the people that typically watch our lives and our content, they are coaches, they are consultants, they are expert-based business owners. And, we're all doing so much in that role, like we're stretched thin. But of course, we want to grow, we want to scale. And I know you don't like that word, and you can explain why you don't like that word, but, ourselves included and our audience we all think we need to add more, do the scaling with the courses and the funnels and all this kind of stuff.
I need another funnel. Yeah, that's always what people say. And so what would be your take on that?
Yeah, let's get right into it. What is the real secret from your point of view?
Get ready, folks, because I'm a straight shooter. So just, it's going to get straight shot, no chaser. But I like the word scale. I don't like the way scale is defined in these online social streets. I feel like it's a dangerous word that makes people feel like, okay, I need the one more thing. I need to do more. I need to push traffic. I need to have a YouTube channel, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I need to be everywhere. I need to be omnipresent, and I need to be making sales every day, passively and on repeat and recurring. Okay, all of these ideas, they're all good ideas by themselves. But the biggest problem about scale is that if you don't understand yourself, you don't even know what scale looks like for you. Meaning, a lot of us, like when we say scale, what does scale really mean? Does it mean I want to scale to $1 million with 60% profit? Like meaning, okay, I build all these things and I could get to $1 million by building a lot of little systems, not little systems, big systems. But then I'm probably going to make less profit, generally speaking. And in the online digital world, and if you're a coach, etc., you are being taught scale wrong. Because in the real business world, like real business, like whether it's the retail store on the street, like, where people actually go in and buy things, or in the corporate world, or any even brand or business you admire right now, the real scale is not how much you sell or how big your business is. It's actually your profit margin. And so that's really important to understand. I would rather make $500,000 and keep most of it than make $1 million and keep 5% of it. What would you prefer? Would you prefer to say, okay, I made $1 million, but we spent $950,000 to make $1 million?
Yeah.
It's not just the money, it's the time, it's the energy. And then you'll look back and go, God, I worked that hard for what? I didn't get much back. And so that's my problem with scale. And you have to think of it differently in order for you to actually achieve scale.
Yeah, because there's so many vehicles that are just sold as being like, this is the way to scale. But what you're saying is you really need to ask yourself, like, in what ways do you want to scale, or what do you want your life to look like? What's that process?
Yeah, well, first of all, you need to understand your business model, right? So your business model is what makes you money, right? Your brand is what creates trust. And those are the two kind of relationships, right? Between, especially in today's world in scaling, like you can scale your brand and scale your business. The best way to do it is to kind of like intersect the two. But the key question is, what is your business model? Meaning, if you're a coach, let's say what coach is, you're selling coaching, right? And what's interesting is when you think about like adding a course kind of based piece to your business model. So now, like, say you're a coach, you're tired of one-on-one coaching, right? And then you're like, okay, now I want to launch a course because now I can reach more people. The truth is you actually can't reach more people right away, but you will if you do it right. And that's the key decision you have to ask yourself. Am I making enough money in the business model here one-on-one? Because you're going to, even though it is an exchange for time for money, it is your money. So you ask yourself, okay, I made this money. Let's say, use numbers. Let's say I made $100,000 in my business this year as a coach, one-on-one. And yes, I'm a little tired because I've had to go get the clients and I've also had to serve the clients. So I understand the conundrum, okay? But what you're not asking yourself is, if I add a course to it, how much of this $100,000 that I've made am I willing to risk to spend to be able to scale a course? Now, that's a good question, because it's not like, okay, this is some type of magic, wave your wand, I add a course to my business model, and all of a sudden I'm making like magic money overnight. I wish, because then we would all be trillionaires, right? I mean, it would be like if it was that easy. So instead, it's more like asking the question, if I bring this other thing into my business model, right? If I understand how to plan it out every 100 days, will I start to see a return that will support me lessening my one-on-one work? Because I always tell people, like, if you want to dump your one-on-one work right away and it's making you money, that's probably not a great decision. There's these trade-offs, like not to be in the fantasy of it, but be going like, oh, I'm a really great coach. I am actually a really great coach. And I do want people to get more access to my work, right? But your next step probably should be, I'm going to teach live the course I envision being the course I want to scale to then replace and increase my business model's profit. So what I mean is like, a lot of people like, I'm just going to do a course. I'm going to put it in like Thinkific, I'm going to like tell people about it. I'm like, no, boo boo, you gotta launch that thing. You gotta launch the idea and you gotta do it live. Like you gotta do it live first and refine it. You might have to do it live 2 or 3 times in order to refine it. And a lot of people are like, don't do live, just do paid traffic, just create your course. And for some reason, people will come and buy it because you're like better than the billion other people who are doing courses. Like, again, let's like just be honest here. Even if you're awesome, and you are, that doesn't mean that your course is going to work because you're not doing it in the right strategic order. It's about order. It's not about that it's a bad idea. It's about what is the timing of the idea and how do you lay it out,
Yes. Yeah. Being able to see all of these ideas on the table, like, should I launch a course? Should I do a live event? Should I do this? Right. And then being able to evaluate them. And like you said, just because you're not doing it right now doesn't mean you're not doing it ever. It's just, what is right for right now. Can you talk a little bit more about that decision-making process? Because I think that's where everything starts, right? We're talking about scaling and everything with a team or whatever have you, but it all starts with an idea. And how do you evaluate the ideas? Because otherwise you're going to be jumping in, spending all of this time, energy, money on an idea that there's going to be a lot of friction, as you say, right? And so, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, because just because your idea may not be right to do today, it could be 100 days from now if you do the process in the book. Isn't that exciting? Like, oh, wait, it could be only 3.5 months away? Absolutely, if you use the process in the book. But we get so caught up in what the social media Joneses are doing, we're not paying attention to our own house, our own business. And so when we talk about decisions are everything, literally everything. If you even want to scale, it's a decision, right? And it's a decision to ask yourself, like, what's it going to take to scale? And so when people ask me, when you talk about team, Jen, oh my gosh, I'm a small business. I'm a solopreneur. I can't afford a big team. That's exactly right. Because guess what, friend? You're the first person on the team. That's another BS thing that we hear online about, just delegate the things that you're bad at, right? And I want you to make a different decision right now as we're talking, that you realize that you're numero uno team member, number one. And you have to make decisions on the ideas that you're going to pursue so that you can go and find the right people, even if it's, and most likely it'll be a contractor, seasonal help, project-based help, that you will take to bring, let's say, your course to the world. If we're going to use like the example of, I want to launch a course, right? You don't need people to help you launch the course forever, potentially, right? You don't need the same team for that you may need after in fulfilling the course, right? And so what the book book helps you do is make the decisions of, number one, what is the right idea to pursue right now? And knowing, being very thoughtful. And yes, I did say think. I know it's hard. I know people don't want us to think anymore, but be thoughtful about, what do I have to trade off to make this idea come true? What do I have to trade off to make this goal of more space and capacity using, let's say, a course as an addition to my business model? In order to do that, you need to ask the right questions to make those decisions. Like, whoever tells you that anything is scary is lying, or they're a sociopathic narcissist. Okay. Like, everything is like scary when you're doing something new, right? So we want you to like use the book to make those decisions, Auret, because I felt like there wasn't a good decision making matrix or thought process out there. And then you can go and choose the right people to work with.
Yeah, I think
That.
it's the combination of having that decision-making process, and that's like the foundation that you're building your confidence on, like, right? That's the foundation. Then you're building everything else on top of it. Like, okay, who do I need to go to next? Like, who do I need on my tiny team, right? It could just be one other person
Totally.
to go and pursue this idea.
So
Mhm.
that's what I want to
100%.
leave with you. And hopefully you get the book and you tell us how you love it.
Yes, of course. Guys, the link is in the description below. Make sure you get your copy. It will change your life and your business. Thank you so much, Jen, for your time. And I'll see you soon. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.